Hi everyone, thanks Catherine. Welcome to you all today, and thanks so much for taking time out of your busy days to be here today to learn more about Legal Aid's services. And certainly we're hoping to hear more from you as well around feedback about our accessibility. I job share the Community Legal Education Coordinator role with Catherine, and we're part of the Communications and CLE team here. So part of our role is holding regular forums like today, organising information sessions, and we also organise webinars within the community sector to educate community workers about how to recognise the legal issues. That's a key part of our role, is that identifying the legal issue and then that pathway to get legal help. So we recognise the important role that community service workers and support people, carers play in helping people access legal aid services by referring them to get legal help and linking with legal information. And we acknowledge that you as community sector workers have that relationship with clients, and so you're the people that the client or the person with the legal need are more likely to go to ask for help. They're more likely to go to you than to come to us. So we need to be working with you so we can connect in and get the best help for that person. So I guess some of the terminology around that is that community workers are the problem noticers. So you're the people that are noticing what's happening for a client when there is a legal issue, and then we can work with you to help resource you to know where to go for that legal help. So many of you will be aware, as Catherine just mentioned, that Catherine and I have been working on a project around disability access at Legal Aid and talking to a number of community organisations in the disability support services sector about how accessible our service is, and being open to the feedback that you have about our services. We know we didn't get to speak to everybody represented here today, but certainly that's part of the purpose of today's forum, to hear from some other representatives from the sector and to broaden our networks, because as you know, the more that you get out and talk to people in the sector, the more you hear about other organisations that we should be talking to and connecting with. So one of the prompts for doing this work was Legal Aid does a regular client survey, and in the last Legal Aid client survey we found that the proportion of clients with disabilities reporting difficulty in obtaining help from Legal Aid has increased. So that was a concern to us, and that prompted us to do some more work around asking questions about how we could continue to improve our services. So some of the feedback, we don't want to spend too much time on that feedback now because we know we'll hear more in our Q&A session, but some of the feedback that we received, well, all of it we've taken on. There's a number of recommendations we've made to our CEO. Just generally there was some feedback around website accessibility being an issue, and we're addressing that with our new website, which you'll see a preview of today. Legal information publications. We do a lot of information publications, and you'll see some of them out at the display table out the front there, and we work very hard to make them plain language and user-friendly. But some of the feedback was that they're hard to find on our website, and that they could be more accessible. So we're learning a bit more about easy read guides, where we use large fonts or using symbols and photos. So just exploring some of those ways of working as well. Access to the call centre came up as well. Amber will talk about the best way to get help from the call centre. But yeah, a little bit of feedback around the authority to communicate with a support worker when you're making an advice appointment on behalf of the client. So Amber will be able to provide you with the best way to do that. More flexibility for advice appointments. Clients with disabilities need longer advice appointments, so we need to at least allow the time for longer advice appointments, and perhaps multiple appointments in order to achieve the best result for the client. We know the application for aid process is a complex process, and that came up, but we're open to feedback about that, and we'll take that on board. Communication also came up, particularly with some of our preferred suppliers, just about adapting communication style when we're working with people with disabilities and being conscious and aware of how we are communicating. So one of the clear themes that emerged, which is what today is all about, is that a lot of workers in the disability sector didn't know about the full scope and range of Legal Aid Queensland services. For example, that we do consumer protection work or civil justice work, as well as representing people in court and doing family law matters. So that's part of what today is about, is providing more information about how the range of services we do offer and the best way to refer to us and get legal help. So the focus is really how to connect with us today. So before I hand over to Catherine, I'd like you all just to bring up to mind maybe one or two questions that you've been thinking about around access to legal aid, and just thinking about that in mind for the Q&A session coming up. And hopefully we'll address those questions before we get to the Q&A session through some of our presentations, but there will be time to explore those in that question time. And if we don't get time then, as Catherine said, we'll certainly follow up with you after the forum about responding. So I'll now hand over to Catherine to speak a bit more about our community legal education role and to introduce today's speakers. So thank you.
So part of MyLinda's role is to connect with the community services sector to increase your awareness of the range of services legal aid provides, the types of legal problems, issues clients can often experience, referral pathways into legal aid, new services or changes to our existing services, and how to connect with those services. So we do that by holding information forums like today. We've also started holding webinars for community workers. We had our first one last month. It was called The Top 10 Things You Need to Know About Credit and Debt for Your Clients. And we hope next year to start holding those quite regularly. So please keep an eye out for those on our website, and we'll also be emailing about those as well. We also are more than happy to come and deliver information sessions at your organisation or to a particular client group. We do that quite regularly, more than happy to do that. And we have staff at 14 offices around Queensland, so people in regional areas, we're happy to come out to regional areas and do those presentations as well. We're also more than happy, Linda and I are more than happy to attend network meetings or come to your organisation and attend staff meetings if you want us to talk about our services and what Legal Aid does. And we're also more than happy to work with other legal aid staff to develop appropriate publications or resources that you need in your jobs when working with your clients. So community workers such as yourselves, you can contact Linda and I to find out about legal aid services or referral pathways, and we're more than happy to be that contact. In fact, we've got our business cards sitting out in the publications area, so please take one of those. Call us if you want to arrange a community legal education session or workshop for your staff about legal aid and its services. Also, please feel free to call us if you want to highlight some issues you're having with accessing our services or something you just want to discuss, an issue that's arisen with our legal aid services. We're also more than happy to be a point of contact to find out more about what legal information publications and resources we might have available for you and for your clients. Or if you want to get in touch or engage with other legal aid staff or in fact other community legal education workers, Linda and I have a great network in Brisbane of those staff, so please contact us for that as well. So yeah, we're very happy to come and attend any network meetings you might be a member of, so please feel free to invite us. So I think that's pretty much all I want to say about our CLE role today. I did want to introduce our legal aid speakers. Some of them aren't here yet, so I'll mention who's here, and when everyone's here for the panel session later today, I'll run through the full list. But we have got Amber Buckland, who's the Director of our Information Advice Services, Sonia Kamari, who's a social worker in our Violence Prevention and Women's Advocacy team, Fiona Fairbrother, also from our Violence Prevention and Women's Advocacy team. Fiona is the principal lawyer in that team. And we've got Louise Martin standing at the back of the room. Louise is the Director of our Grants Division. So Louise oversees the application for aid process, assessing applications. So Louise will be part of our panel later today as well. And later in the forum we'll be joined by a couple of lawyers from our Civil Justice Services team and some staff from our website redevelopment project. So I would now like to hand over to Amber Buckland to talk a little bit more about accessing our phone and in-person legal help services.